Good morning, PLTs. In preparation for our second quarter data review, I have some things I'd like for you to discuss this morning in your PLT meetings. To begin with, if you'll look in your Google Drive, I've placed all the documents that you may need in Google Drive so you can access the documents there. At the end of the first quarter, when we did our first quarter data review, each team came up with analyzing their data and looked at the strengths, areas for growth for reading, math, and science based on their data from first quarter. And then they picked out a focus for second quarter. Please keep that in mind as we look at second quarter data. If you look at the quarterly data sheets that you filled out with your student information, you can compare this data by teacher and by subject area. Each one has a tab for reading, math, science, and a tab for the reading records levels for each student. You can compare this data by teacher, and here's second quarter in the second column, and you can compare the report card grades to the common formative assessment, thinking about how students do on everything within the whole quarter compared to how they do on one assessment. For third, fourth, and fifth grade, they use Case 21. Second through fifth grade, they use Case 21 for their common formative assessment, and for kindergarten and first grade, they choose their own common formative assessment. Another thing I'd like for you to look at is the data monitoring sheet, where I used all of the data that you filled out on the quarterly data sheet. And take a look at this to compare from one grade level to the next. This has the percentages of amount of students that are proficient for each grade level, looking at second quarter for the report card data and common formative assessment. This is the reading tab part, the math part, and the science part. The math pulls together the M-Class information data and takes a look at the composite data on this side for beginning and middle of the year, and the TRC data on this side for beginning and middle of the year. Another document that I gave to you is from M-Class, and it's a comparison. Some of the PLTs have seen this at the RTI PLT meetings, and this compares all of our school-wide data, and this is a comparison of the TRC data, and you can see for kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade for beginning of the year and middle of the year, and their tabs and numbers of students where they find at each level. Another piece of information is the composite data. This is the whole school at the top, and then we have kindergarten, first grade, second, third, fourth, and fifth at the bottom, comparing the beginning of the year to the middle of the year data. Looks good from that perspective. Also, I'd like for you to look at the school improvement plan and take a look at the action steps now that we're over halfway through the year. The action steps that we have implemented this year, and see if you're finding success with those or if there's something you need additional support with, so we can take a pulse of how we're doing at this point in the year and come back to that information. Please make a note in the monitor section of anything you need to help with or additional information or next steps and things we need to do. Last but not least, I have put in a second quarter data review sheet for you to look at. First of all, the focuses that your team chose from first quarter. Look at what worked and what didn't work. And then analyze our data for second quarter, including strengths in reading, math, and science, areas for growth for all curriculum areas, and then last but not least, as a team, pick out a third quarter focus for reading, math, and science, and what you will choose to focus on for a third quarter so we can see what makes a difference. Bring this sheet with you to leadership team on Thursday to share what your team has talked about in this quarterly data review. I hope you found this information helpful, and please let me know if you need any assistance. Thank you.